More than 770 people have made the dangerous journey across the Channel in small boats so far this year, following a record-breaking year in 2021 when at least 28,000 arrived in the United Kingdom. The Royal Navy worldwide reputation could be seriously damaged by becoming a taxi service for migrants across the Channel, a former commander has told Member of Parliament. The Ministry of Defence is expected to take over command of the operation from Border Force by the end of the month in a move signed off by Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Conservative members of Parliament, Philip Hollobone said in the Commons, "This isn't Operation Red Meat, it's Operation Dog's Dinner." If the mission statement was to reduce the level of illegal people trafficking across the Channel, I'd support it. But the mission statement, as far as I understand it, is to lower the number of people landing on their own terms on United Kingdom beaches. So what the minister has effectively announced with the deployment of Royal Navy vessels is asylum seekers only need to get halfway across the Channel before being intercepted by the Royal Navy. This is going to incentivize people traffickers. They'll see the Royal Navy ship on the horizon and they'll say, "Point your dinghy in that direction, you only need to get halfway, and the Royal Navy will pick them up." The only way this will work if the Royal Navy intercepts asylum seekers and returns them back to France. Without the second bit, this simply won't work. Meanwhile in Dover, Kent, a group of people including a child aboard a small boat were met by Border Force just a few hundred meters from the port. Conservative members of Parliament have warned the Royal Navy will be operating a taxi service for migrants crossing the English Channel under what they've named Operation Dog's Dinner. Armed Forces Minister James Happy said military involvement is part of a wider plan from the government, set to be announced in the coming weeks. The sonic weapons, the long-range acoustic weapons, are already fitted to Border Force vessels, so as the Royal Navy has now assumed operational control of Border Force sonic weapons will be used for migrant crossings. Mr. James Happy said the last bit would be impossible without French permission, and French permission has not been given. But I don't accept his characterization of what is being spoken about today. The Ministry of Defence mission is to make sure nobody arrives in the United Kingdom on their own terms. It means nobody arrives in the United Kingdom without having been intercepted at sea or as they land. What happens next, he'll just have to wait a short while and I'm sure all will become clear. If Border Force vessels are fitted with a capability that the Royal Navy commander feels inappropriate for use, then he won't direct that it is used. Migrants who entered the United Kingdom without permission would be denied asylum under an amendment to be considered by the House of Lords. Lord Green, president of think tank Migration Watch, has proposed anyone who entered the United Kingdom clandestinely or was intercepted attempting to come to the United Kingdom via a boat or vehicle without prior permission should be treated as inadmissible to the United Kingdom asylum system. He has put forward the proposal as an amendment to the Government Nationality and Borders Bill, claiming that it has strong public backing and would act as a deterrent to migrants trying to enter the United Kingdom via dinghies, lorries and containers. Lord Green said, "The numbers crossing the Channel are clearly getting out of hand. All of those who arrive from France have travelled through at least one safe country. It is right therefore that we should take this into account in our own arrangements for asylum." Migration Watch said many of those crossing have already been rejected for asylum in European Union countries, and the United Kingdom has become a magnet for failed applicants from all over the continent. The government has already introduced rules that treat anyone suspected of entering the United Kingdom illegally via a third country as inadmissible for 6 months while their case is investigated. It comes after Ghana Ministry of Foreign Affairs denied being involved in talks with the United Kingdom about potentially processing asylum seekers. Ministers had said they were drawing up plans to send migrants to countries such as Ghana and Rwanda for processing and resettlement in a move to tackle the small boats crisis.